This is the newest game in the OCTOPATH series, but it works as a starting point if you haven't played the others. What makes this one different from the previous games is that you actually create your own main character, instead of picking from preset ones. And there's a whole town building system. The game keeps the signature look of the series, that HD 2D style, where pixel art characters move through pretty 3D environments, with nice lighting effects. And the turn-based combat that fans know, but adds some new things to make it feel fresh. So at the beginning you make your character from scratch. The game asks you which skill you learned growing up. Maybe your mother taught you healing as a former cleric, your father taught you combat moves as the watch captain, or the local carpenter taught you about weakening structures. You also choose a favorite dish that gives you stat bonuses, and pick a few belongings that have different effects, or tie into the story later. The story takes place in Orsterra, and there's this whole mythology about gods creating the world, and sealing away a dark god using divine rings. Your character lives in a small, peaceful village called Wishvale. Now, without spoiling the entire beginning of the game, let's just say things seem nice at first, but the whole game becomes about getting revenge and restoring what was lost. The combat works like other Octopath games. Enemies have shields with numbers on them, and you need to hit their weaknesses to break those shields. Every enemy is weak to certain weapon types or magic elements. Timing when to break enemies and when to boost your attacks is the main strategy. You can have up to 8 characters in your party, chosen from over 30 possible allies. So there's lots of flexibility in how you build your team. One thing to mention though is that the difficulty doesn't increase much until you're pretty deep into the game. So the regular battles stay fairly manageable for a long time, which is nice if you don't want constant stress, but it definitely might bore people looking for a challenge early on. The skill system is new for this game. Instead of the skills being locked to specific characters or jobs, you can equip action skills on anyone and teach them to other party members. Now the game has these path actions that let you interact with NPCs in different ways, depending on your stats. If you have high fame, you can ask people for items. High wealth, on the other hand, means you can buy things from them. And high power lets you challenge them to fights to win their gear. You can also inquire to learn information about them or the world. This means you can approach situations differently based on how you want to play. The town building system is a big part of the game. You invite the people you meet on your journey to come live in your town, and you essentially rebuild it from the ruins. This system can kind of take over your playtime if you get into it. A rather frustrating thing is that the town rebuilding isn't completely separate from the main story. You are gonna hit points where the game just stops letting you progress with your town, until you go do the next story chapter, which can feel weird when you're in the middle of a building project and just want to keep working on it. The game keeps the structure where you travel around to different regions and cities, recruiting new party members and learning their stories. It feels like a proper Octopath game, and the character creation and town building make it feel more personal. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.
It's not nice.